last presentation this morning is Monsieur Moo, Maxime Berthoud, on a different approach of clouds.
So let's start with a small movie, a short movie, and then we'll speak about it. It's a 13-minute cinema project that I did last year in June. There is a voice off in French, so you'll have to, if you don't speak French, to have a little bit of imagination because there is no subtitle. Let's go. Just to explain a little bit, the project was to come back on the region where the first climate modification has been done. So it was in the border in between Canada and America in a big period of drought. And the American, led by the scientist and geophysicist Kurt Herbert, did a cloud seeding campaign. So he did a dispersion of silver iodide in the in clouds, but the clouds were going on the Canadian direction, of course, but he made it rain before they passed the border. So the Canada, also touched by the drought, complained of being still stolen by its neighbors. So he went to the United Nations asking for a treaty and to sign a treaty to prohibit or at least regulate the cloud seedlings experimentation, because at this time, it was experimental. So bam, after that, it wasn't possible to do any more cloud seeding campaign. So my project was to go back on this region, but on the other side of the border, and to steal back clouds from the American and make them rain to the Canada. So that's it. I did it, but I wanted to do it through the legal protocol and asking for the first time in the history the permit and the license to do this experiment. It was a little bit complicated because after 63 years, no one were asking for this license. So no one was able to apply this text. So I had to reopen the text to present it back to the ministry chambers, to go with federal lawyers to different ministries, blah, 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 blah. And all this legal overflow was really feeding the purpose, which was to make a disproportion in between means needed to make a familiar event, which is a rain, so like really for almost nothing, drops. But of course, this was to put in perspective with the all geopolitical, scientific and artistic aims raised by this gesture, radical gesture. So after 2.5 years of fantastic administrative and juridic journey, I wasn't sure to get my license because it was like a little bit nonsense. No one was able to do that and so on. The project was mature enough, so I decided to do it illegally and clandestinely. So I did it by the side with the support of course, some scientists and people who wanted to push and to be part of this proposition. And I thank them, of course. But well, then I did the project, I did the cinematographical gesture out of it, a retranscription of performative dispositive, that's done. It also helped me to confirm the posture of radicality that I want to adopt, and the freedom that is behind it. So that's it. Yeah. Now that this gesture has been done, a sequel, an interesting sequel, could be to to propose and to adopt a legal status to the clouds, which are the last with the iceberg of the drinkable water, which doesn't have any legal status. That means rivers, sky, space, earth, mountains, even love has status, but not the clouds. So, of course, it's a poetical digression, but it's also like a really important yeah, it's a really important question. This time of course, stress, hydraulic stress, and so on. So that's it. That's what I would like to develop with laboratory of research in philosophy and juridic stuff for the justice. Yeah, of course. Philosophie du droit et de la justice. So that's it. That's and to do this this stuff with the only person who did a proposition that was in 2002, Fabienne Kieremejdoub, who is a jurist, and she was really thinking of proposing this status. So on one end we have freedom and desire. About the justice, the same radicality, and make love all together. That's it.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
I have a question.
I'm trying to fix the...
Yes, I'm a bit surprised of a problem you mentioned, because farmers use this effect quite often, and this is quite often you can see that. So the question was because of a border, or what?
No, it's just because it's not allowed to do it.
So even the farmers, then you go in the countryside,
even the big French dispositif, which is ANERF, something like that, for the control of the grêle. It's not allowed, it's illegal, actually. But anyway, even if it was legal, it's just that you attempt and you go through a cycle, you break a cycle, a meteorological cycle, and we really don't have a clue how far it goes, the effects.
So even if it's not an international law, there is a French law. I would like to know that. Is there a French law?
No, there is nothing. It's a coutume. They are presenting that as a coutume in terms of juridic cases. And then, yeah, there is nothing to do that. But there is this United Nations treaty which prohibits and regulates this. But no one is asking for that. I mean, well, of course, the Chinese are doing that very often. Now there is this Moscow, the town sign will that it's not allowed to have clouds during a certain period in the year to be sure that the défilés are under the sun. So it's not allowed for the cloud to be there. So they are putting dispersion of silver iodide, like tones and tones, to be sure that it's under the sun. So there is a sub-Saharan cloud seeding campaign, Al-Said and Saga, which are the two main campaigns. But everything is done like we don't really know how far it goes and the consequences. So cool.